In this video, I'm going to share with you guys all the new weapon buffs and nerfs here in Modern Warfare, so I hope you guys like it and enjoy the video. So what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today we are once again back on Modern Warfare, and I wanted to share with you guys all of the new weapon tuning that happened with the new update that just dropped late last night. We've got several weapons here in the game that were changed, a few attachments, and a few weapons that are a little more popular than others, but hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. So what you're going to be watching in the background is some gameplay against veteran bots with the different attachments and weapons that were nerfed or buffed here in the game. So just to give you guys an idea of what the new weapons are going to play like now that the changes have been made. So hopefully you guys are able to keep up with that. But the first weapon that was changed is obviously the Renetti. I think this is probably the most popular change with the new update. As most of you guys know, I made a video yesterday sharing the most overpowered akimbo burst mod Renetti class setup, and it was patched late last night. As most people figured that that thing was going to be really overpowered, they finally got to it and made it not so great. So the things that were changed about the Renetti specifically, they reduced the max ammo reserve. When it comes to the MK3 burst mod that makes it the 3-round burst, what they did was add significant hip spread increase and small decrease to damage. So the significant hip spread increase is obviously for those akimbos. It makes it much more challenging to be able to hit somebody without aiming down sight with this thing, and they took down the damage. Now what's really unique about this is that they actually changed one thing. They reduced the damage when the akimbo and the MK3 burst mod are both equipped. So if you're using both of those attachments, that MK3 burst plus the akimbo, the damage goes down significantly and you will notice it immediately. I noticed earlier when I was playing with this thing, just using the standard Renetti with the 3-round burst, that the damage had a significant drop off. They say it was only a small amount, but it's very, very noticeable from medium to long range. It's not that bad from close quarters, so if you run around a corner and you get right in someone's face and shoot it, you're still going to kill them pretty fast. But when you're going from medium to long range, it's very, very difficult to take people out. And one thing that I want to recommend that I kind of figured by playing this morning, you want to run some sort of extra ammunition. So you want to run either, I believe it's the 21 or the 27 round mag, because if you're shooting someone from distance, so many times this morning I was shooting at people and dealing a lot of damage and then having to reload and screwing myself over. So having the extra mag now is, or the extended mag, is going to be really, really important. So make sure that you're running that if you still want to run with the Renetti MK3 burst mod. So the Renetti is obviously the main thing that was changed here with the new update. We also had an update to the FAL, which I believe to be one of the most underrated weapons in the game. What they did was they decreased the ADS time. So essentially the standard FAL is going to be able to aim down sight a little bit quicker. Now I already had a really, really good FAL class setup that I felt super comfortable with, and I threw essentially the same attachments on it and threw a couple extra ones to have better ADS just to see how quick it was, and it is very fast. They say that they increased it. There's not a specific amount to the increase, but it seems pretty fast. And this thing is so much fun to use. It shoots really quick and a really, really powerful gun in Modern Warfare. If you haven't used the FAL a lot, I highly recommend that you unlock a lot of the attachments. And I've got videos on the channel with really good class setups for the FAL. So try that out now that they buffed that and made it a little bit quicker. They also decreased the ADS time to the SCAR, which is something that was much needed. The SCAR, I feel like, is also an underrated weapon and isn't used as much as it should be because of how slow it is and the small amount of ammo that comes with it. I believe you only get 20 shots in a standard mag with the SCAR. It does a whole lot of damage, but people don't want to use it because obviously you run out of ammo super fast and you just get screwed having to reload because it's super slow. But having that aim down sight speed buff is going to make it a little bit easier to lock onto people and not be such a slow weapon. As most of you guys know, the movement speed on this thing is pretty trash as well. So we got that nice ADS time decrease for the FAL and the SCAR, so that's good. The LMGs, they lowered ammo count for reload warning on the belt, which is obviously not going to be a big deal. They also reduced the penalty for holding breath too long with sniper scopes. So those are just some extra things that they added in. The next weapon that had a huge buff is the VLK Rogue. So there's a couple things that they did to this shotgun. I'll be straightforward with you guys. I don't like this shotgun. I've never really been a fan of this thing. I've always thought that it was trash. But the changes that they made to it was they increased the rate of fire, which is nice. Obviously, you guys know, you can only take one shot at a time with this. It's a shotgun. They also increased close damage range for the 12 gauge and increased damage range to the 6-inch revolt barrel. So I'm running the 6-inch revolt barrel here, as well as a couple other attachments to try to boost my movement speed to be really fast with this thing. And I'll be honest, being able to shoot a little bit quicker is nice, but you still really don't do a whole lot of damage. And if you haven't already figured this out, hip firing with the VLK Rogue is terrible. You don't want to do that. Most of the time in my videos, I recommend hip firing with shotguns. The VLK Rogue is trash, so you essentially have to aim down sight with this thing. But at least they added that shoot time, so you can take a couple extra shots in a smaller amount of time, which is good. But the VLK Rogue had some pretty significant changes there. Still trash in my opinion, but we also got another boost to the Holger 26. So the Holger 26 is what really takes the cake with this new one, with this new update. There's so many changes to this thing. So first of all, they increased the movement speed. So you're going to be quicker with this. Obviously, it's an LMG. Essentially plays like an assault rifle. They also improved the ADS time and a slight recoil reduction, which is obviously going to be really helpful. They also changed a whole bunch of the attachments for that Holger 26. The first being the FTAC 8.98-inch Spitfire barrel. With that, they improved ADS time, faster movement, and reduced hip fire spread. The XRK ultralight barrel improved the ADS time as well. So what you're seeing right now is me running around with all of the new attachments that were changed, except the Spitfire barrel. We're rocking with the ultralight barrel, the 30-round mag, the no stock, and the stippled grip tape. So the 30-round magazine is already an insanely good attachment for the Holger 26. Obviously, you get a lot of pros with this thing. What they changed with the 30-round mag is they reduced the sprint out time. They improved the ADS time, faster movement, and improved hip fire spread profile. So they made it a little bit slower here with the 30-round mag. I guess they felt like that was already pretty OP, and it is. It's an amazing thing. If you're trying to turn that Holger 26 into an AR and essentially a G36C from the original COD 4, you want to throw that 30-round mag on there. They also changed the no stock. So with the no stock, they increased sprint out time, added faster movement, reduced hip fire spread, and improved ADS time. So a really interesting thing that they're making this thing much faster. I don't know if the idea is to get people to play more with this thing. I actually really enjoy using the Holger. One thing that I noticed significantly with the Holger while playing this morning and getting this gameplay for you is that the damage is not that amazing. So I'm obviously running all of the attachments that were changed here. So it's a really small and aggressive class setup. Almost feels like an SMG here on an LMG, which is just really weird. But the damage on this thing is not that great, especially from close range, which is really surprising with an LMG. Obviously, it may just be some of the attachments that I have on because we are going for mobility. We're trying out the new attachment changes, but the damage was not all that impressive. It's pretty accurate. I had a lot of fun using it, but I felt like I should have been able to kill people a little bit quicker. And then stippled grip tape had a small change as well. They improved the ADS time on stippled grip tape. So it's weird that they changed literally almost every attachment here on this weapon and didn't change on any other ARs or SMGs. But nonetheless, an interesting change. But these are all of the weapons that were changed here in Modern Warfare. I'm hoping that we'll get more weapon changes soon. I want to see some different things change. One thing that kind of irritated me was that they changed the Renetti pistol, and they made it not so great. When the Renetti came into the game, it was a phenomenal pistol, and everyone wanted to use it, and they took that as it being OP and wanted to make it worse, when in reality, what they should do is just make the other pistols better. I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, like my personal opinion, I think all the pistols are trash in this game except for the Deagle. And the 357 used to be good until they nerfed that, and I'm sure the Deagle is going to end up getting nerfed as well. So there's really no point in using pistols in this game anymore, which kind of sucks, but hopefully you guys have gotten all your challenges done, and if you haven't, I would recommend going for that before they make all of them even worse. But the Renetti is still a really fun gun to use. I highly recommend running it. I still think it's the best pistol in the game. I wouldn't recommend running the burst mod anymore. I would stick to just single fire. You can shoot this thing super fast, especially if you throw that lightweight trigger on there. So keep using the Renetti. A lot of fun to use. If it changes more in the future, I'll make another video for it to share with you guys a good class setup. But if you guys have any questions about anything that changed yesterday with this new update for any of the weapons, please make sure to leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure and try to help some of you guys out. But I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.